guys, and welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and today we are watching Season 2, Episode 19 of Battlestar Galactica. That is right, we are on Part 1 of the two-part finale. So yeah, I am excited. I am fresh off of the last episode, which is one of my favorite episodes, I think, of Battlestar Galactica so far. Of course, I have a little bit of recency bias since I literally just saw it, but absolutely a really good episode, I think. And I loved the questions it posed and sort of the moral dilemmas and just this idea of what it means to be human and can Cylons be human? I don't know. I thought it was a really fun episode. It shocked me. It made me cry a little bit. And yeah, I just had a lot of fun with it. So I am really looking forward to this episode and to see like where we go from here. They took Sharon's baby in the last episode, told her that it died, but actually they just secreted it away to live amongst the humans and be raised as a human. I have some logistical questions about whether that is going to be possible or not, but we're gonna find out, I'm sure. We discovered that Anders is indeed alive, who, much to Starbuck's happiness, I'm sure, if she finds out at some point, which I hope she does. Yeah, we learned a little bit more about Caprica 6 and Caprica Sharon, which I thought was very fascinating. So yeah, that's sort of where we left off. I am really excited to start this episode and see where we go from here. So without any more talking by me, let's see. Okay. Is that Tyrell? Why has he got a beard? Well, not a beard, but like a scruff.
I'm gonna lose.
This is starting off very somber.
1 minute, Madam President.
Thank you.
Is this like their debate?
Our final jump will take us intra-atmosphere.
Okay.
We're also expecting to take heavy fire.
Where are we?
Simulations indicate losses of up to 20% can be expected. It's volunteer only.
Okay. Is this them going to Caprica?
Sorry about the mess. I used to do this before testifying at committee hearings. Just memorize the talking points, then tear the card, let the pieces fall as they may.
Yeah, my father used to break pencils before he went into court. Break preconceptions, work with what you have.
Let me see. What happens if the moderator doesn't have a pencil?
Then you're pretty screwed.
Strike team could make the entire trip back to Caprica in less than 10 jumps.
Okay. So we are going back to Caprica. Sharon helped them. Bro, sit the fuck down.
She's here to help us.
Yeah, thank you, Starbuck.
Does anyone have a problem with that?
I'm sure these dude bros. Yeah, sit down.
Election's still 2 weeks away. Get your act together.
Damn.
Yeah, I was just taking a little nap.
Yeah, that's what was happening. Where is he? There he is. What's going on with Tyrell?
Chief?
What is going on with Tyrell? Like, why is he rolling around like that? Is he drunk? Okay, she sees him.
I'm going to wipe the floor with you, Gaius.
Words. You must be losing your mind again.
The tension.
Something dark is coming, Halo. I can feel it.
What?
I can feel it lurking out there, waiting.
I mean, you're in space. Everything's dark. That scares me.
What do you mean?
More like a dark time.
Okay. What the hell does that mean?
Chief?
Oh my god. What the fuck? Tyrell, what are you doing? Tyrell, stop. Tyrell. Is she okay? Okay, she's alive. What the fuck was that? Was he not just fine the last episode when they were doing the ashes thing? Tyrell, I'm gonna need you to explain your fucking self. Also, Sharon, what do you mean, hun? Like, I don't like this dark time. Like, are we entering the dark ages of like Battlestar Galactica? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Sir, explain yourself. The way that it's just breathing and no music also is like.
I'm Brother Cattle. I understand you've asked for religious counseling.
Is your name Cattle? Like a little cat?
Pray to the gods every night. I don't think they listen to me.
Do you know how useless prayer is?
Aren't you a priest?
You sure you're a priest?
Right?
I've been preaching longer than you've been sucking down oxygen.
Interesting way to say it.
We're here on our own. That's the way they set things up. We have to find our own answers, our own way out of the wilderness.
Free will sort of situation.
No, it's not going to get better until you see what the problem is. You're screwed up. You, not the gods or fate or the universe. You.
So he needs a therapist? Like, can he see a therapist now, or are you just going to be a therapist?
I just wanted to say,
Dutch angle?
good hunting.
Thank you, sir.
It's like throwing me off course.
Sharon should be able to jump you into the atmosphere.
So I know the plan. Lee, I wrote it.
Is he stressed for her? Like worried?
I gotta go.
I hope you find him, Kara. I really do.
Okay. This is an interesting scene.
Things are gonna turn around.
You'll see.
That's right. Listen to her.
Of course, how blind I'm being. Thank you, yes. You know, I'm so assured right now, Tom. I'm just going to sit right back and wait for the hand of God to reach down and change my political fortunes. How about that?
Gaius is, not doing the best.
Did I ever say thank you?
No. Then again, that would be a first, wouldn't it?
Thank you.
Just come back in one piece. That'll be thank you enough.
She's scared or nervous that they might not make it, so she's trying to, make things okay.
I just can't get her out of my head.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. Of course.
Is there a problem?
I feel so bad for her. Like, of course she's devastated. She thinks she lost her child. I mean, I guess for all intents and purposes she did.
Stand by to jump on my mark.
Stress, 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 stress. Okay. Are we good? 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 Where's everybody else? Where's everybody else?
This doesn't look right.
Where are y'all?
Oh, man, we're at the wrong jump coordinates.
What? Where the fuck did they go?
Kilo, we've lost someone already.
So we go back?
No, we can't.
Mission rules say we keep going unless we lose 3, so we keep going.
I don't understand how I could do that.
You and me both, bud.
Were you having a nightmare when she woke you up?
Probably.
I don't remember.
What was that? What was that flash?
Been having any recurring dreams lately?
He's dreaming about...
No.
That's
himself?
what we in the prey trade call a lie.
The prey train? What?
You're having dreams. Mm-hmm. What are they?
He doesn't want to say because it's a priest, right? And that's a sin. I mean, I don't know about in their religion. Also, I don't believe it's a sin, to clarify. I'm just saying. I wonder why he's having this dream. Where is he? Somewhere on the ship, I presume? Okay, so it is what I thought.
And you were having the same dream when Callie woke you up, weren't you?
I don't remember. Maybe. Doesn't matter, does it?
She stopped you. By waking you up, she prevented you from carrying out your secret desire to kill yourself.
I don't have a secret desire to kill myself.
Your subconscious does.
Question is why?
That is a question. That is the question, really.
Back to the barn.
What was in front of them, though?
I'm picking up a large planetary body. It's fracking close.
I saw something in front of them, yeah. Did they...
Where'd that come from?
So much data interference here didn't even register.
Is it Earth? Did they accidentally find Earth?
Atmosphere is nitrogen, oxygen, fresh water. Hey, you know what this is?
Earth?
We may have just found a world that can support human life.
Yep. All by accident. Well, they found a habitable planet, regardless of whether it's Earth or not. So that's good news.
Most of the planets are actually pretty barren. But the best part is, all the radius interference from the nebula, Cylons will probably never find it.
That is good. That's great, actually.
Who cares about this stupid planet anyway?
Well, it's the future of human life, possibly?
Less than 20% of that place actually supports human life, so... Can you imagine if we actually had to live on that thing?
What's wrong with it?
Pay attention. You're about to win the election.
How?
We needed an issue. This is it. Permanent settlement on this planet.
Permanent.
Because it's not Earth. Okay, I see.
It may look dreary, it may be dreary, but it's solid ground under your feet and real sky over your head. You'd be surprised what a powerful idea that is to people cooped up in metal boxes for 9 months.
Mm-hmm. And Rosalind won't like it because it's not Earth.
Give up on Earth.
Yes.
Rosalind won't like that. It could turn the tide in his favor.
You know, it's starting to look like a lovely little planet after all.
But if only 20% of it is habitable, then how long? Like, if humanity keeps growing?
Well, a few hours is one thing, but permanent settlement's quite another. All the data indicate that life on this planet would be hard. It would be a struggle to even eke a living out for a few years. In my opinion, people vote their hopes, not their fears.
That's true.
I'm offering them the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They're tired, exhausted. The idea of stopping, laying down their burdens, and starting a new life right now is what is resonating with the voters.
Mm-hmm. They're short term, not long term.
It could turn the entire election around.
People are short-sighted sometimes. They don't think of the big picture, you know, long term.
I'm done.
The priest is like, I can't.
I'm not a therapist. I'm not going to hold your hand and help you along. I'm just trying to get you right with yourself and with your gods, but you're not willing to do it.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, for God's sake, Chief, come on. You think you're a Cylon.
Does
I'm
he?
not a Cylon.
Is that why? Because if he...
Well, of course you're not. But that's what you're afraid of, isn't it?
So that's why... Okay. That would make sense.
Sharon didn't know what she was. She just kept thinking, feeling that she was going to do this terrible thing. But she knew that she had to stop herself before she did.
Is that how he feels?
And you think that's what you're going to do, some terrible thing. Well, the truth is you might, but not because you're a Cylon, because you're a human being, and human beings do terrible things.
But how do you know?
Accurate.
I'm human.
Oh, well, maybe because I'm a Cylon and I've never seen you at any of the meetings. Just know that that's your family and that they love you. If you doubt your humanity, all you need to do is look to them.
She might be a little bit skittish of him at the moment. Also, how do we know he's not a Cylon? I'm just saying. Okay. They made it to Caprica.
Wait a minute.
Wait, what?
We're missing Raptor 612.
What, they jumped to the wrong coordinates?
Picking up their transponder, so they made it about half click from here. That would put them... Oh my God.
In the planet?
They jumped inside the mountain.
They jumped too close? That sucks. They jumped too close. So they just died, I guess?
Question is, do the scriptures contain real-world relevance? Obviously, my answer to that question is yes.
You see, I have long been a proponent in the search for Earth. But the trouble is, the Cylons continue to follow us. And if we have a chance to change this dynamic, shouldn't we take it?
Because of the Dratus interference.
There's no assurance that the Cylons don't already know about this planet, and that in fact, they aren't simply waiting for us to settle on the surface so they can
I have to
attack
respond
us.
to that.
What you've seen right now, ladies and gentlemen, is another example of the President using fear. Fear of the Cylon, fear of fear itself.
Interesting that he's using those words exactly.
I'm asking all of us
To choose hope.
to stop running from our lives and start living them.
I wonder if he has a mole in her campaign. Kind of sounds like it based off what he just said.
The polls will open in 3 days.
So that was their last debate.
Movement, 11 o'clock.
Is it somebody with the resistance or is it a Cylon? It's multiple people. It looks like Anders, right? That looked like Anders. That person.
You got a Samuel T. Anders there?
There count thrice there!
There is. Tell her she took a good sweet time getting here.
It is him. It is him. Aww. I like this reunion.
As good as your word, huh?
Yeah, good as my fracking word. Now you feel like a big fracking idiot, don't you?
All right, just shut up and save us. All right.
Oh, you're so cute.
Where are the rest of your people?
This is it. Toasters hit our base camp this morning.
Aww.
Incoming!
Oh gosh. Run, run, run! Don't split up, but run.
Back to the rocket!
We're cut off!
Oh no. Are they trapped? Yeah, I figured that was gonna be the end. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. Alright, so first off, I know that this is a two-parter, like the two-parter that was earlier in the season, Resurrection Ship. However, I am going to break this one into two parts with discussions because it is the finale and yeah, I don't know. It feels like that felt like a good stopping point to sit and talk and discuss and then to immediately for me continue on to the next episode. So I want to talk about what happened in this episode first and then go to the next episode. Okay, so first off, I want to say that I am so excited that Starbuck and Anders are reunited. They are so cute. I am much more invested in Starbuck and Anders than I am in Lee and Dee currently. I just, like, they made their relationship a little bit more exciting for me personally. So I'm excited to see what is going to happen. Like, if, because of the way that it ended, if we can actually rescue Anders and bring him back to the Galactica, then I'm excited to see like what the dynamic could be between her and Lee and Anders. I'm excited. I'm excited, especially because of the way that Lee and Starbuck's goodbye was. Like, it was kind of awkward, kind of like the subtext was there. So I would be really interested personally to see what a dynamic between the three of them could look like, because I think it could be very interesting. I don't know if Battlestar is going to give us that or not, but yeah, I would be excited to find out. Also, I just want to say, because I don't trust anybody. We know 6 out of 12 Cylon models, okay? So like my trust is this far with the other 6 people, right? Could Anders be a Cylon? Could Starbuck even be a Cylon? Could Lee? Could Adama? Could Rosalind? Could Tyrell? Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Personally, I don't think that it would make me love any of the characters any less if that were like uncovered, because I think that Boomer, aka Sharon, is really a good example of the fact that even if you're a Cylon, or even 6 and Caprica 6 and kidnapped, tortured 6, like all of the 6s that I like, which is multiple ones of them, like they are Cylons. So I think that it's just worth pointing out that like I don't know how much I trust Anders, but then again, like Starbuck could be a freaking Cylon for all I know, but I don't think she is. But who knows? Who knows how else they will shock us, you know? That being said, sorry, they did make it to Caprica. They did mount a rescue mission, which is very exciting because they kind of made it seem a few episodes ago like that was like done and gone and dead and buried, and like we're not doing that. But we find out now that due to, you know, a new discovery of the technology, it would be much faster for them to be able to go back to Caprica. And so they made it a volunteer rescue mission, which, yeah, I'm just really happy that they actually went back for Anders. Again, I think that introducing him and then showing him again in the last episode, like it would have been silly had they not gone back for him. But it's exciting. It's exciting that Starbuck is back on Caprica and she is, you know, currently with Anders. Of course, the way that this episode ended, like, I'm assuming we'll find out next episode before whatever cliffhanger the season finale leaves us with. But right now it's like, will they make it back to the Raptors? Also, like, what the heck happened with Caprica 6 and Caprica Sharon? Because obviously the Cylons still attacked the Resistance base. So, like, does that mean that their plan didn't work? Like, we're not really sure, but it'll be interesting. I'm very interested in seeing where that storyline goes. I'll just say, so I don't ramble. Something else that was really interesting during this episode was everything that's going on with Tyrell, which, one, can I just say that priest, one, he could be a Cylon. Okay, I'm just saying anybody could be a Cylon. 2, he's very like unpriest-like, although I guess priests are kind of, if you think about it, the original therapists, because, you know, you sit in that little, well, I guess if you're Catholic, right? You sit in that little booth and you tell them the shit you did wrong, and they tell you like how to fix it or like what to do to make it better. And then you go home and you sort of like feel better about your life. So in a way, priests and preachers, church people are kind of therapists, but also like, if you need therapy, please actually seek professionals that are like trained for therapy, like not priests or preachers. I'm not saying that you should do that, but I'm just saying that in a way they are. And that guy was definitely more like therapist-y, even though he was sort of like, you know, I'm not like a therapist, I'm not gonna hold your hand, I'm not gonna do this, but like he was kind of, right? Like he was helping Tyrell to talk and to like figure out what he had been thinking and everything, even though he was sort of a little bit more harsh and aggressive about it, I suppose. But it was interesting because, one, what did he say? I didn't write it down. He used a funny word or a funny like phrase. I don't know. I don't remember what the word was, but it was funny. Anyway, sorry, to talk about Tyrell. I was very confused at the beginning of this episode when Tyrell was just, you know, having some sort of nightmare, and then he just attacked the shit out of Callie, almost killed her. I mean, I don't know how close to killing her he was, but he like beat the shit out of her, which is not okay. And I think that it's also fair if Callie is not immediately receptive to Tyrell because of that. Like, I think it's totally fair if she's like not immediately forgiving and definitely like keeps her distance from him. In fact, if she would like choose to never forgive him for that, I also think that would be a valid stance, because that was really horrific what happened, and yeah, I just want to make it clear that I think that her, like, if she chooses not to forgive him from that, if she chooses to, like, keep her distance for a long ass time because of that, to heal and maybe go to therapy herself, if that is an option in the Battlestar, then she should do that. And I think that that's valid, and I would totally be okay with that. I still care about Tyrell as a character. I'm not condemning him for that one action, but I'm just saying also her feelings in that situation would be totally valid if they were like, stay the fuck away from me forever, you know, just saying. Now, it also makes total sense that Tyrell's sort of mental degradation or issue that he's struggling with right now is worrying that he is a Cylon. I think that it would make sense for anybody on the ship, if they know that Cylons can appear human, if they know that, or in the fleet rather, that Cylons can not know that they are Cylons until they're activated. I think it would make sense that anybody would be struggling with that. And Tyrell most of all, because he knew Sharon intimately and very personally, and he knew that she was struggling because she felt that there might be something inside her that was dark and that she couldn't figure out. And if Tyrell is worrying about that as well because of what he just did, or, you know, any reason, that I think that all humans, we have light and we have dark inside of us, right? Like nobody's perfect. Nobody has only perfect thoughts. Like, intrusive thoughts are a thing. But also, like, we're human and we're not always going to have the best mindset for everything, right? Like, we're not perfect. That's the whole thing. And so I think that there is darkness inside all of us. And so for Tyrell to maybe feel his darkness and be scared that it could be triggered and be in part because of the fact that he is a Cylon, I think makes total sense. Like I said, I think anybody would question that in his situation. And his recurring dream makes total sense in that situation too, because one, it's what Sharon tried to do as well, Boomer, when she discovered, you know, the truth. And then also it's a way to test, right? Well, I guess not, because there isn't a resurrection ship, so he would not come back. So he wouldn't really know. It's an understandable feeling is all I'm trying to say. Like, I'm glad that he talked to this not therapist guy. Wish that he could have gone to like actual therapy. Like, he would have maybe trusted that, even though his dad was a preacher or whatever. But yeah, I think that this guy just calling him out on it and like knowing how he feels and like being able to read between the lines and tell Tyrell, like, this is what you're struggling with and you have to face it and you have to embrace the people that you love and that love you, because that is your link to your humanity, I think is all a really good conversation for him to have. I think it's good for Tyrell to just be confronted with that, and hopefully he will recover and not be so upset, and hopefully Callie will be able to recover, and ideally, I suppose I would like for them to be friends again, if that's what Callie wants, because I think that any feelings she might have on this situation are totally valid. Also, random observation. Did they say that his therapist was named Cattle? Like little cows. Cattle. No? Yes? I love cows, so randomly, I just want to know. I do feel really bad for Sharon in this episode because she is going through the loss of a child. I mean, we, the audience, know that her child is alive, but she, the character, does not know that. And I can't imagine how upsetting and devastating that knowledge or that reality would be for her. And so I think that she is struggling, that she is really clearly, visibly very upset and sort of shut down emotionally, makes total sense. And I really feel for her character. I hope at some point that she finds out that it's not true and that she can be reunited with her child. I also fear for that point because I think that there's very little that Sharon wouldn't do to reunite with her child, and then also possibly enact revenge for the person, Rosalind, who took her child from her and made her believe that her child was dead. Also, Coddle could be caught in the crossfire because, like, he was part of it. Yeah. Also, a little worried about what she said about a dark time coming for the fleet and humanity. It's like, what does it mean? Like, are we not currently in dark times? Have we not been in dark times this entire time? Like, you know, like what the hell does that mean? It's a little bit concerning because we literally, like, less than a year ago saw the mass genocide of, like, most of humanity, and she's like, well, you know, dark times are coming. Like, how do... All right, something else that we need to talk about is Rosalind, Gaius, this debate, the 20% habitable planet, like the presidential election, like all of it that is, like, ramping up. So Gaius was very far behind in the polls. Then they happened upon this planet, which is somewhat habitable, and then now it's sort of like swinging towards Gaius because he is, you know, making the political move of thinking they should settle on the planet, whereas Rosalind knows that that is a very short-term solution because the planet is not habitable enough for long-term human habitation, right? So the frustrating thing is that I think that the advisors are right and people vote with, one, what they hope, not what they fear. Two, people vote with, a lot of times voters are short-sighted, I'll say, right? They're not voting for what could happen in the future. They're voting for what is happening right now. And right now, they are people who have been stuck on ships in space for almost a year. They've not touched solid ground. They've not breathed, like, natural air. They've not looked up and seen a sky above them, right? They are essentially trapped in these little pods floating through space. And they're people who come from a planet. So naturally, the prospect of getting back onto a planet, breathing real air, tasting water, you know, looking up and seeing the sky, not being trapped, is very appealing. Unfortunately, they're not thinking, like, long term that Rosalind is right and we still need to find Earth because, and I think that her issue is that she is framing it religiously, right? And Gaius is looking at it, like, scientifically. He's presenting, like, the facts, right? Like, yes, they're convenient facts and they support what he wants, but he's also, I feel like he's reaching the people in the middle better, right? Like, let's say there's the religious people, there's the non-religious people, and let's say that, like, Rosalind has the religious people, Gaius has the non-religious people. There's people in the middle, right, that aren't necessarily strictly science, but aren't necessarily strictly religion. And they're gonna be the more inclined to vote away from somebody who's sticking strictly to religion. Yeah, if this makes sense. Like the moderates, if you will. They don't want to go with somebody who is, you know, a religious fanatic, so to speak. So, because Rosalind keeps touting religion, I think, and saying, like, the scriptures, like, even though she's saying, like, the scriptures have real world application, I think what she should say is, regardless of what the scriptures say about Earth, it is habitable long term. We know that it is a better choice, and even if it's not Earth, there has to be another planet that is a better choice long term than this planet, which we know is only habitable for a few years at the most. Yeah? So I feel like she's sort of trapped herself in the religion of it and that's gonna hurt her because she kind of can't escape the religion of it. So even if Earth is like this mystical, like, yeah, that's what they're traveling towards, they have an actual coordination, like they have actual coordinates, sorry, for it. So they're going to an actual place and they know that. So I think that she should focus more on that and more on like the logistics rather than focusing so much on the scriptures and what the scriptures say. I understand that she's trying to like make the scriptures pragmatic and like logical by saying like the real world applications of the scriptures, but I don't think that it's doing her as much help as she wants. Of course, I know that she also has to toe a very thin line, right? Because she doesn't want to lose the religious vote. She has to keep the religious vote, but also get the moderate vote. Whereas right now, I think Gaius is doing a better job of keeping like his strictly science vote and then also getting the moderate vote because he's appealing to people's desire to just get out of the situation that they're in right now. All that being said, like, I personally don't know who I would vote for because it's, as most elections are, right? It's like pick your poison, right? Like, I don't think either of them are really 100% right. And I don't think that either of them are like 100% wrong. I think that Rosalind is right that they should keep trying to find Earth. And I think that she's right that they shouldn't stay on this not really habitable for a long period of time planet and like set up shop. But I can also understand like where the people are coming from and where Gaius is. I mean, Gaius is just coming from a place of he wants to win, right? Because Head 6 is telling him that like that's his destiny or whatever, right? So I don't know. I vastly disagree with I vehemently disagree with Rosalind's choice to take away women's choice over their own bodies. So that is biasing me against her a lot. But if push came to shove, it's hard because I want to vote Rosalind. Like, I'm putting myself in the situation. Like, I want to vote for her because I do think that her plan of action long-term is the right one. And I know that Gaius is only believing in I know that Gaius politically choosing a woman's right to choose is because it's politically advantageous for him, right? I do personally think that Gaius, the scientist who is not religious, does also believe in a woman's right to choose, personally, but I know that politically he's doing it for the political advantage. But that is biasing me for him right now, so yeah. It will be a hard choice. It will be a hard choice in this election. I'm very curious to see what the majority of people choose. If I had to guess, unless Rosalind pulls out some last minute heroics in the next episode, I'm gonna think it's gonna go to Gaius. That's my guess. All right, guys. So I think that is all that I really have to say about this episode. As always, if you want, you can watch the next episode right now over on Patreon, which is the finale of season 2. You can also watch my entire full-length reaction to this episode, as well as every single episode of Battlestar Galactica thus far, including the miniseries, and we'll also include later the movie. Anyway, I am really excited to see what the next episode brings, so I hope to see you there for more Battlestar. Until then, bye guys!